Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Parenting Boost with Funmi Odumade. How are you all? I hope you are all doing well. I pray that the Lord will continue to keep you in Jesus' name. Thank you for watching all my videos. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate it, and I pray the Lord will continue to encourage you all in Jesus' name. So last week I shared with us why reading is important, and I advised that I will be coming this week to share with us on how we can promote good reading habits in our children. Yes, so that's what we'll be looking at this week, and I've got a few points, that I'm going to share with us. If you think there are other points that I've not mentioned that could be helpful, please comment. We would like to hear from you. Put it in the comment box for us, and we would like to hear from you. And the first point I've got here is for us to start young, to start reading with our children at a very young age, when they're still baby. Actually, there's so many books out there that with short and words, or with no words, just pictures that we can actually engage our babies with. And one of the ways children acquire language and social skills is actually through reading, reading to them, reading with them. So it's essential for us to start young, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe nighttime story, or any time that is convenient for us to start reading with them. And as they grow, we grow with the book that we share with them as well. We, change the book that we share with them as well. So it's good to start very young with them. And I know in UK, I don't know with this COVID and everything going on now, but I know we do have, under one toddlers, club that we can engage the children in, where they have a reading section that can actually, show to us as parents how to go about reading to a child, so that we can now do it at home. And even if that is not possible now, we can get things like that, on YouTube. There will probably be many people that have done something about how you can read to a baby or read with a baby. So it's good for us to start young with them. We should encourage reading at home and everywhere. Reading should be something rigid, like it has to be you sitting down and read this. We should make it fun for them as well. We can be going out on the street and our toddler or our child pick up a word, and can see a billboard and they're trying to read it. We encourage them to read it, but I know depending on how urgent or where we're going, but we can actually pause and allow them to read that billboard, or that sign, or that numbers on the bus, or that label in the store when we're shopping. We just make reading fun. There is allow them to encourage them to read anything. Actually, I remember when I was growing up, back in Africa, I remember that when we were traveling, I like sitting down at the at the front, and I will be reading the signposts of cities, of what's going on the road as we're going, and I will be making sense of it. So reading should be fun. They should be encouraged to read at home and everywhere. So the third point that I've got here is we will have to reinvest in their reading. We have to invest in their reading. So one thing we need to ask of ourselves is, do we have books in the house that our children can read? Or is it just that one particular book that they've got from school? So we have to invest in their reading. We have to look for books that they like to read, look for how we can get those books in the house and have it somewhere handy, somewhere they can reach in the home. We can have a bookcase, we can have a box or storage, a storage box where we keep books in the house where they can just go and access. So we need to invest in their reading. And if we don't have that, we can actually have a library card, a walk to the library. I don't know how often library opens now because of COVID, but we can actually find that out in our locality, and library opening times, and have a library card. Walk down to the library, get a book, a book or two. I remember then that even when my were using the library, at the time that if there is a book that you want, and it's not there at the time, you can tell the library assistant, and they will put it down and tell you and call you up when the book is in the library. So it's good for us to invest in their reading, and if there's no library where we have, if you have a charity shops that sell books, we can get books in charity shops. Sometimes it's 50 pence. I do buy that for my children, because there's no point, if they're good books, there's no point in buying a new one for the same book that you can buy in charity shop, or because at some point they will outgrow that book and you have to buy another one for their age. So we can actually get it in charity book. Or if you have friends that have children that are older than yours, they can pass their books that they've read down to them as well. So let's invest in their reading. We make reading part of the routine. Make reading part of the routine. So 10 minutes of reading every day, and is better than just having that 30 minutes in a week. 10 minutes of it. And that's why you realize that for most primary schools in UK, they will only give you one book and ask you to read it for a whole week. Because sometimes, depending on the age and the level the child is in their reading, they don't just want them to read and for reading's sake. They want them to read and be able to understand what they are reading and be able to summarize, get the understanding, of what this book is all about, and be able to share their opinions about the book. So, and they will expect them to read it a couple of pages, each day. And so we should make reading part of the routine. If you think you are a family that very busy, you can have a timetable, and having a timetable doesn't mean that it has to be that time. There will be time when you won't be able to keep up with the routine and you miss a day or two. But don't beat yourself about it. Come back to it. I can tell you, I've been there. I remember then we used to have a timetable, for when my children comes back from school, what they have to do, how much time they spend on TV, how much time they spend on reading, doing their homework. We put the time of us going to church and all that, because at that time I just need to organize my life, because there's so much that we are into. And there'll be times that one we fail, but we go back, review it as a family, as they grow, they were able to contribute into that as well. So we review it, we go back again, start again, review, go back again, but now I don't have to do more of that because now it's into them. So so they all pick a book when they want to read and read. So we should make it part of the routine. Another thing I want to say is we engage in conversation with them. So you've read a book, we can ask further question. We can ask a question as well. So who is the character in the book? Just to have a good knowledge of their understanding of what they are reading. Giving them the opportunity to be able to summarize, to be able to share their thoughts about the book. So you can ask them what's the character in the book, what's the book is all about, which part did they like, which part did they not like, which part did they think, which part of the character is fair, which part is not. So we engage in a conversation, and if you think that the book, we can relate it to what has happened maybe in the past or recently, then we can relate the book to it, and that in that way, we can actually see the book they are reading making impact in their lives. Another thing is we can make connection between what they are reading and real life. So for instance, if a child has been reading about animals, or farm, we can find a time and have a day trip to the farm. You don't have to go to the zoo, before you can see some animals here and there. I remember then that until we took ours to the farm, they didn't even know where chicken, that we buy in the shop, where they come from, how they look before they kill them, because it's not in Africa where you see, chicken everywhere. In your family, you can have somebody, having a small farm, where they rear chicken and all that, goats or sheep, those things you need to travel to somewhere, maybe like a farm in here before you can see it. So we can actually engage them like that. We've been talking about dinosaurs. They've been reading about dinosaurs. You can look for a museum that have dinosaurs, and have a day trip to that place so that we can link reading to real life for them. Another thing, we need to be patient. We need to be patient. We need to have the understanding that, even if our child is the same age with our friend's child, or or sometimes we compare the level to their siblings when they were that age, they probably won't pick up things the same way. So while we're reading with our children, there's some things that we'll be amazed that they've known how to pronounce or how to read, and there's some things that we'll be shocked that at the stage they can't even pronounce such words. And that is why we are there. That's why we're doing what we're doing. That's why we're reading with them, for them to be able to have that input from us. So we need to be patient and not to lose our temper. And for that not to happen, we must be ready to praise and praise and praise. Ready to praise them, ready to reward them, ready to appreciate little effort they're making, in reading. We must be ready to praise and praise and praise. We can have a reward chart, we can have a treat, we can do so many things to actually encourage them. We can have a certificate for them, a paper certificate. You can buy all this in shop, or we can do one ourselves, just award them for being good with their reading. So we must learn to praise, 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 and praise. And all we just need is for them to grow into that habit. And once they love reading, that's it. Our job is done. We'll just be doing, little as they grow. So I pray that the Lord will help us. And please, if you have, pick one or two things, you can share with us what you have learned. You can share with us what you're doing at home with your own children that is working when it comes to reading. We would love to hear from you. Till I see you next time, have a lovely week and God bless you. Bye.